So welcome to Mount Blue Prep. Today is 15th March 2021 and this session is in a series of sessions which is on the basics of JavaScript. This session specifically is focused on strings. We will talk about the string data type in JavaScript and string utility methods. So let me share my screen and let's get started. So I will be using something called the browser console, which is one way of like running JavaScript and looking at the results live. There is also the Node console. If you have installed Node to run JavaScript on your computer, you can also use the Node console and use like run JavaScript line by line or small blocks of code instead of writing the whole program. Okay. So as we discussed in the last session, there is let, var, and const. So I will be using the let variable declaration method to declare a string called city, and I will call the city as let's say Bhopal. So if I look at the type of the city, this is a string type. So now if I change city equal to, let's say instead of Bhopal, I do Indore. So value of the city gets changed. But if I try to modify something, let's say, so this is, behaves somewhat like an array, but if I do char city m, will city change? No. Can someone tell me what is happening here? Like I could reassign the city to a different string altogether, but when I try to change a single character, it does not happen. What is this phenomena? Why can't I modify like single elements in a string in JavaScript? I'm not talking about other languages. Single quote, no, that's not the new one. So, okay, the answer is strings are considered to be immutable in JavaScript. Strings are a kind of data type or data structure in JavaScript which cannot be changed. The entire string, if I do city equal to Indore instead of city equal to Bhopal, basically the entire string, like basically it takes another entire string and then reassigns it. I cannot play around with individual elements in a string. So strings are immutable in JavaScript. Uh, so in every language, there are immutable and mutable data types. So for example, arrays are mutable in JavaScript. Like you can change individual elements of the array. Because arrays are also not a primitive data type. They are of type object. And then if any of you don't understand what I'm saying, bear with me. It's okay to not understand any of this stuff. You will gradually get the hang of it. So in JavaScript, an array is actually an object. And those are not the primitive or basic data types. They are somewhat of a derived or a higher level data type. Like they use existing data types to create objects. And you can change the index of an object, the key, basically the key of an object, you can change it. But string, on the other hand, is a primitive data type, one of the basic data types, and they are immutable in nature. Okay. So when I did city equal to Indore, it basically created Indore in a separate memory location and then reassigned it. So if I try to draw this out, it happens something like this. Let me share my whiteboard. And so when I talk about immutability, mutability, you can almost imagine. So this is kind of like your RAM. Your I'm trying to draw RAM. So these are cells. So this is your computer's RAM, in plain language also called just memory. In slightly fancy language, it's called random access memory. So when the variable let city was assigned, so let's say this is the place where the variable sits, the variable city. So when I did let city, this like variable has assigned a particular memory unit. Then when I did Bhopal, let's say Bhopal sits, let's say Bhopal occupies the first 4 of this and 2 of this, right? B, H. This is not completely accurate. I'm just showing kind of like this is how it can be. So this occupies like a certain memory units, a set of contiguous memory units, one after another. So when I did Indore, the computer literally assigned separate units. Okay. So earlier this city variable was pointing to B. Now it will point to I. And somehow the computer knows that I to this ORE is a single memory unit. And it will reassign itself. It will remove its pointer from BHOPAL to INDORE. So essentially city, the variable acts, if you are familiar with C programming language, so basically we have created a pointer and then the pointer points to a particular memory location. It just so happens the earlier the memory location started at B and ends at L. Now the memory location starts at I and ends at E. Okay. I'm going back to the. So this is how I reassigned the entire string to this city from Bhopal to Indore. So this is called immutable. So this was the first property of a string in JavaScript. Other weird property that you saw, strings are behaving somewhat like arrays. Uh, they are not actually, they don't have any too many properties like arrays, but still they are behaving somewhat like arrays. So we can do city 0 and get I. We can also try to cut the array, let's say from 0th element to 3rd element, and I get IND. Any of these array operations is not impacting the original string, but it is giving back some value. Like doing city.slice on INDORE, it is returning IND, but it is not impacting the original array. So we have a bunch of helper methods here, which kind of like la index of, let's say I can put a string here like ND. It will give me the index of the string where it starts. Similarly, I have something called last index of, which gives me the index of the last occurring position of the substring, or like the smaller string that you are searching for. So all of these are returning some values, not impacting the original array and original string, sorry. And all of these are very useful helper methods in different contexts. Like while doing different kind of problems or different kind of manipulations with strings, all of these helper methods are very useful. Slice, index of, last index of. There is char code, caret. This behaves very similar to the index thing, and char codat actually returns the code of that particular character, the ASCII code. I think I have talked about ASCII code earlier in these sessions. What is ASCII code? Anyone? If you have attended the previous session or if you have prior knowledge from earlier, what is this ASCII code? Why is O shown as 111? You can type your response in the chat. Yeah, representing alphabet in number, but what is the significance of this number? So let me go back to the diagram. Let me go back to the whiteboard that I had. Yeah, you guys see this? So let's say, I mean, not to say which, but it is like actually kind of true that each of this memory location is 1 byte. Okay, let's say each of this memory location is 1 byte, which is 8 bits. So when we talk about O and O being represented by 111, it is actually not represent, it is actually O is equal to, I think, 00000111. This is the notation of O in the binary format. We can check it. We can go to the ASCII code table. So this is how, like, this is showing a 7-character representation. The eighth, the first, like when we say 00000111, which is O, here is O. So right. So the 8th bit here is not mentioned. That is a flag bit, and it is not mentioned generally in the notation. So in 1 byte, we can only store somewhat like 127 characters. So these are the list of characters that can be mentioned. This we talked about earlier as well. So this is called the ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Now the thing is, as programming languages usage of programming languages grew, this 127 characters became insufficient. Nowadays, we no longer use ASCII, but we use something called UTF-8. Somebody wrote in the chat Unicode. Uh, Unicode is another method of Mrityunjay is saying that because 2 byte equal to 8 bit. No, Mrityunjay, 1 byte equal to 8 bits. We use the flag bit to like do something, Mrityunjay. Like we flip it, like it's used for some particular function. So we keep the flag bit away. So ASCII is just 7 bit. It just uses 7 bit notation. There are other methods of computer character sets. Unicode is popular, but most popular these days is something called UTF-8, which is kind of Unicode but a little bit different. Like uh, UTF-8 is actually flexible. Flexible in the sense like if one, let's say O will use only 1 byte, so it will only use 1 byte. On the other side, the euro symbol will use 3 bytes. So it will, like UTF-8 is flexible. It is called variable width character encoding. So this is very popular. Uh, Most of the websites use UTF-8. UTF-8 is most common encoding. 97% of all web pages use UTF-8 these days. Okay, so in JavaScript, because JavaScript is an old language, it came in 1995. This string dot char code at is giving a numerical value, which is the ASCII value. The languages that which are being written these days, or like newer versions of the language, most of their encoding is either Unicode or UTF-8. Uh, and their encoding is like different, like in those languages the values returned will be different. The way characters are uh, characters are used is a bit different. In JavaScript we are still using the older notation ASCII. Same for C programming language. Those of you who are exposed to C, there also you will find this character conversion to a numerical value. Okay, so that was a slight digression on ASCII value. Let's go forward to other string utility methods. So one of easy utility method that you should remember is length. It is often used in many of the problems to like just get length of the string to do something. Then we have, yeah, we have something called includes. We can search whether, let's say, TRE is there or not. It returns false. We can search IND is there or not. It returns true. So then we have other interesting string stuff like, okay, we have trim to trim white spaces. Okay, this one is pretty interesting. So I can do something like a dot repeat 10 and a will be repeated 10 times. So there are other as well. There is ends with search string, like I can check whether it ends with E or not. Yes, whether it ends with the empty space, false. So now how do you learn all this kind of helper methods? One way that I do is when I am solving string problems on HackerRank. Let's say I am in HackerRank and I am solving string problems. I keep a cheat sheet open sometimes. JavaScript cheat sheet. Let's see whether there are any good cheat sheets. Yeah, something which has like some utility methods already open. Let's look at the next one. Yeah, something like this. So when I'm talking about strings, there are some string utility methods already here, like index, last index of, slice, replace, uppercase, lowercase, concat, char charcode, add, split. This is not as exhaustive as I would like it to be. I mean, this is one of the cheat sheets. You can get another one which has more helper methods. This will at least help you, you know, keep keep in mind like, hey, this helper method is available. You can also practice each of these helper methods 3 to 5 times till you remember them. uh, this is true for any programming language. If you are using Java or Python, I would recommend keep the helper methods open, try them out, make sure you are able to do stuff with them. This will save you a lot of hassle. Like just something simple as repeat, right? Let's say a dot repeat 10 is a 10 times. If you don't know this repeat helper method, what you will do? You will write a for loop, you will create a temporary variable, and you will do temporary variable plus equal to a, right? Like for example, if I don't have access to it, what I will do is let result equal to blank, for let I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus equal to 1, result plus equal to a, and now the result is. So if you know this dot repeat 10, you can save 3 lines of code. And actually, I have saved sometimes 2, 3 for loops, because I can also chain this. Like I can write a dot repeat 10 dot concat, which is how you add 2 arrays, b dot repeat 5. You may be thinking, why am I writing all this? Where is this useful, this repeat stuff? Guys, have you ever done pattern problems asked in many of the programming interviews? Many programming interviews will ask you this pattern problems, okay, print star and space and all this weird business. And all those problems are very easy to do if you know simple helper methods like repeat and concat. You can create the entire string and then just print it. Just concat, 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 whatever is required. Cool. So another way to write this a dot repeat 10 dot concat is something called string literal notation. So what is string literal notation? I am using something called backtick. If you see this symbol, this is on top of your tab on the keyboard. This is called a backtick. The advantage of backtick is I can write stuff. I can put basically variables here like city, sorry. And I can put some stuff here like a dot repeat 10. And the result will come as Indore a repeated 10 times. So I can put in basically any kind of JavaScript code or a variable I can keep in this dollar curly brace on curly brace off. So this is called string literal notation. This is also useful. I don't have to do concat and any other business here. I can simply write this in this way. The code looks more readable. That's the only advantage. I can use all kinds of concat and plus business. Like I can do a plus something like this. This is also valid string concatenation. I can do a dot concat and this entire thing. This is also valid string concatenation, and using string literal notation is also valid. So use whatever you choose. Okay, cool. So so far we have talked about strings being immutable. We have talked about the slice function to get smaller strings. We can do index of to get the first occurrence of the uh, search string. We are calling the inside this search string. Last index of to get the last occurrence of the search string. We can use strings as arrays. So like kind of use the same array notation. We can directly use a square bracket or we can use char at. We can get the character code by using char code at syntax. Dot length is there, dot includes is there, dot repeat is there, dot starts with, dot ends with. We can change case of the strings as well. Like I can do this and change the case of the strings to capital case is there, snake case to camel case. So snake case is like this. I can change it. I think there were other case related stuff as well. Not able to find them at this point. Sentence case and other. Yeah, to local uppercase. So this will convert the string to uppercase. Similarly, there is lowercase. You can find other implementations. A lot of helper methods. So you don't need to remember all of them now, but use cheat sheets. And as you keep on solving problems, try to, yeah, if you keep on solving problems, you will get gradually fluent in this helper methods. So in this session, now I will go to Edabit, try to find some easy string problems and try to solve them. Okay, so that's the next part of this session. Hemant is asking a question, using helper method instead of looping will make my code efficient or not? So Hemant, I'm not sure in this case. You can time it for large inputs. JavaScript has this thing called console.time start time end. It will time two pieces of code. I think it's something like console dot time. Let's say I put a label, check repeat time. Okay. So in small inputs, it will not be very relevant or useful. Like, so console.time is how you check time in JavaScript. Make sure the string in both time and time end are the same. So this took around 0.014 milliseconds. Now I can check the same thing for this code. I have to use the same label here. So this loop actually was faster. In most cases, I recommend use the language helper method. For example, let's say you are using arrays and you have to do array dot map or array dot filter or array dot reduce. Those will be much faster because the language implementation of that is much faster than your for loop. Uh, but in some cases, the opposite can happen. Like maybe the language implementation is inefficient. The for loop implementation in the language is more efficient than the helper method. Okay. In arrays, I actually recommend using map filter reduce in the JavaScript language. That will save you a lot of time. Okay, Shubhadeep made a nice observation that here we called the repeat 100 times and in the loop we are only doing it 10 times. Okay, so let's make the loop to 100. Let's see whether there is a change. Yeah, this time it did take more time. Cool. But again, don't look at for small inputs like 100, 10. Generally for big inputs, you can see a significant difference. Okay, so let me go to Edabit now. So we will solve some problems before we end this session. It's taking a bit of a time to load. Okay, here we go. So this is Edabit. So we will take a problem and then we will try to solve it. Okay. Mhm. Most of these are occurrence questions. Okay, I think this should be a problem. Let's see. Okay, this is a problem called find the bomb. Okay, guys, look at this problem and try to at least write the logic on the chat. Guys, please write the logic in the chat. It need not be accurate JavaScript code. It can be pseudocode. Pseudocode is fine. So Shubhadeep and Dharmendra are saying we can use includes. Absolutely right. But do we have to do something else in addition to do includes? Read the notes. Guys, read the notes. Bomb may appear in different cases. Uppercase, lowercase, mixed. Yeah, Hemant is saying convert to lowercase. Absolutely. So the logic is I will convert the string to lowercase and then just check if bomb is there or not. If bomb is there, I will return duck, or else there is no bomb, relax. Okay, let's try to do this. So, so as before solving the problem, I would like to print out the test case, test cases just to see, just to get some idea how are the inputs. So the inputs are there is a bomb. Hey, did you find? Hey, did you think there is a bomb? This goes boom. Did you find the bomb? So I can see that in the last case, the bomb is in like not in uppercase, not in lowercase. It is somewhat in mixed case, like I'm talking about here. For those of you who missed the reference, like in this particular location, if you look at the bomb, it's like not in either upper or lowercase. So the first thing I will do is lower case string equal to string dot to locale lowercase. I think this is the uh, syntax, but to just to double check, I will open the terminal here. There is also two lowercase, I guess. Yes. Okay, so I can use either of them. So let's use this one. Fine. So I got the lowercase string. Now if I have to write the includes dot includes bomb, if this is true, I have to do something, else I have to do some other thing, right? If this is true, I can return duck. Otherwise, I should return there is no bomb, relax. All right, let's check. Yeah, all the test cases passed. Simple problem. I hope this gets a string challenge. If not, we will go back to and find a string challenge. Let's see. I don't think this is a string challenge. This is an arrays. Okay, let's go back. Let's pick the first one. This is another case, is it? Okay, guys, look at the problem and then suggest me the logic. Let's do this. Okay, so people are saying find lowercase letter and return them. Hemant is saying check character is in A to Z range. Yeah. Costa is saying filter method. Does filter method work on strings? I think it works on arrays. Will it work on strings? Is there a filter method in strings? Don't think so, but we can see. No, I don't think there is a filter method in string. Ultimately, we have to check whether it's the lowercase characters. And then how do we check for lowercase characters in a string? Okay. You guys can Google search how to check for lowercase characters in string. Check ASCII range of alphabet. Well, that can be a useful method. Okay, Hemant is saying if SI greater than A and Z, will it work? Let's check it out if this greater than A and Z business works or not. So let's say we have a string, okay, let random equal to ACPT. Okay, now random 0 is A, right? So if Hemant is saying is right, then random 0 greater than equal to A should work. It is saying true. Random 0 less than equal to Z should work. This is saying 0. At the same time, random 3, which is T, greater than equal to A is false. Okay. And less than equal to Z is true. So I think we saw in ASCII coding, if I open ASCII Wikipedia, the uppercase characters come first and the lowercase characters come second, right? So, okay, Dharmendra is saying we can use char code at. Yes, we can use char code at and then use greater than less than Dharmendra. Swapnali is saying create a function called lowercase. Yeah, Swapnali is saying use regular expressions. Yes, we can use regular expressions as well. I will not discuss regular expressions in this class. That requires a whole full class in itself. Regular expression is like a class in itself. So the character range of capital A starts at 65 and it goes till 90. Small a starts at 97 and ends at 122. So if we use char codec, we can say greater than equal to 97 and less than equal to 122, right? So cool, we have some progress. So we can check if something is a lowercase character or not, and then what? This is just for comparison of lowercase or not. Then what? We create a temporary variable and then store that information. Is that correct? Like we create a let result equal to empty and then keep on concatenating that character. So let's try that approach. So we have a string. Print it out here. We can go let length equal to string dot length. For the length of the string, we can do for let I equal to 0, I less than length, I plus equal to 1. So this is our for loop. Let get a result and assign it as an empty string. Now we can write our if logic here, right? So before we write that, let me just see if everything is getting printed out correctly. Check. No, it is not printed out correctly. It is incorrectly. Instead of string 0, I have to use string I. Okay, awesome. So everything is getting printed out correctly. Now I have to put in the checks. If string I is greater than character A and string I is less than B, sorry, Z, then it's in lowercase. And yes, Hemant is right. They should be greater than equal to, because we do have to include A and Z. So we will do result dot concat string I, else nothing happens. And in the end, we return the result. I will not return the result yet because Edavit does not give me another chance. It will just show submit final. So just print it out and check it first before submitting. Well, it's fine that it expected cat got undefined, but where did it print the cat? It didn't print the cat, right? This print console.log result did not happen. Interesting. It's happening nowhere. Okay. So let's try to print here. Okay. So this is also correct. It is getting all the small case, but here it's not printing the result. Result is coming as empty. This result.concat is not working. Guys, why is it not working result.concat? Because of something we discussed in the starting of this call. Strings are, no, I get it. People are saying result plus equal to. Strings are immutable. So every time we change it, we have to reassign it as well, right? If I do result equal to result.concat, then it should work. So not only I have to concatenate it, but then reassign the result to the original variable. Now I am getting result cat, result burglar, result embezzlement, result certain. Yeah. So now if I do return, if I check it, all test cases will pass. Yeah, all test cases are passing. So I won't submit it. I will refresh this page again. I have copied the solution. I will remove the console.log statements and then show it to you again. So removing. So a few things to notice here, like we can rewrite this A and Z by using ASCII values. Like we can use 97 and 122. We can do that. Let's do that quickly. I refreshed the page again. So you don't have to do all this messy stuff in HackerRank. You can just keep running the code again and again by using run code button. So yeah. So I can say current element, current char. Let's call it current char, string I, or I can do string char code at I. It. And instead of this check, I can do current char greater than equal to, what is small a? It's 97. 97 and current char less than equal to 122. That is it. This is correct as well. Same check again. except this time we are using the ASCII value of the character strings. Okay, let's finish this one off. Okay, I'm out of time. So I will end this call here, guys. Stopping the share. So I'm stopping the recording now. We'll end this call and I will take up any questions, technical or otherwise, now.